If I had $1 for every time I was asked, what is the difference between a media kit and a portfolio? I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be in Bora Bora. No, but all jokes aside, y'all, I think this is a question that a lot of creators have because they know they need specific assets and pitching tools to land partnerships, but they're like, do I need a media kit? Do I need a portfolio? What's the difference? When do I use what? So what I want to do in today's video, because we are very passionate about both assets here at Sidewalker Daily, is talk to you not only about the differences in these two, also the similarities and when to use each asset in your pitching journey, how to use them to effectively make money in brand deals. That is our specialty here at Sidewalker Daily. If you're new to our channel, we are centered all around monetization in that specific area of brand partnerships. I always joke, you know how creators have a niche? Well, I have a niche too, and my niche is brand deals. I have over 10 years experience in the creator economy. I've been featured for my work in this industry on sites like CNN, NBC News, Entrepreneur Mag, Business Insider, and more. And we come from the brand side. I was the one reviewing your media kits and your portfolios. And now I have a creator community of over 160,000 creators that I support, like y'all listening in on brand deals. So let's talk about media kits. Let's talk about portfolios, especially as we go into the new year and can share the differences. So to put it really simply, a media kit is what we call a visual resume here at Sidewalker Daily. It's a term that we've coined. A media kit sells your influence and it also sells your content. So when I say sells your influence, it basically shows an insider look into your audience, into your social media footprint, your presence, the people that you influence on a day-to-day. Your portfolio shows your work. Yeah, there's a little bit about you, but it's really, really content focused. It's really work focused. Typically a media kit, people will ask like, how many pages should it be? I am not team 2-page, 1-page, 10-page. I'm team make it work for you. Your story is a very different story than the influencer sitting next to you. You guys have different things to offer. Some of you may have a podcast. Some of you may be a writer. Some of you may have testimonials. Some of you may have case studies. Not every single person's going to have the same media kit because we're all so different. But typically you will find a standard about page. And the most important part, y'all, when it comes to about on media kit, it's not about you like, I love ponies and smoothies. And no, it's about your audience and your brands that you've partnered with. It's about your own personal brand and the mark you're going to make. We are seeing a really big shift in media kits, specifically using way more sales copy, way more sales language, and influencers not being afraid to sell themselves, because a media kit is exactly that. It is the document that you are sending in that first initial pitch, or when you're networking with a brand, this is what you're going to get them to see who you are. It obviously needs to include information about your audience, the demographics, is it men? Is it women? What are the top cities? What is your audience interested in? I love media kits that include psychographics. Are they college educated? Are they parents? What do you know about your audience? And sometimes people are like, well, I don't know anything. I'm like, ask, get on stories, have them answer polls, have your audience engage with you so that you can dive deeper into the psychographics of who your human is, because those media kits really stand out. A media kit is a place to show your past brand partnerships. It is going to maybe have certain testimonials and case studies inside of it. Oftentimes we see a work with me page, different ways that you can work together, a contact us page, right? When we're thinking of media kits, traditionally speaking, I have seen them most of the times in a PDF format. Sometimes a creator will send a link and there's always this battle. Do I send a PDF? Do I send a link? I don't know. I personally don't click links in emails that come to me. I'm way more open to opening a PDF. And a lot of the creators in my community have seen success with this. Don't even try and tell me, well, what if it goes into spam? That's why we are tracking our emails and tracking our pitches to see if they are going into spam. So you're going to be able to know that right away. Now, here's the thing. Your media kit is going to include samples of your work. Obviously, whether it's still photography or clickable reels, it needs to show the work. It needs to show your podcast episodes or your YouTube videos, right? Because that's what the brand is buying. And it also needs to show your metrics, your influence, your, shiny analytics, so to speak. Actually, I have a really great on-demand training, by the way, if you guys want to see examples of media kits and also learn a little bit more about what I call the shiny analytic to get brands excited about you. I will include a link below so you guys can watch that after you watch this video. It is a free training. It's available to you, whatever, and it is all about brand partnerships. And we have a very specific section on media kits. If you want to dive deeper, you can go watch that after you finish this. Now, typically a portfolio, right? There's going to maybe be a small section about you. It is going to be super content focused. The best portfolios are when you are scrolling and there's content, examples. I have seen portfolios that also have sections of past brand partners, past testimonials and contact us page. But the really 90% of the portfolio and the structure is really showing off your work. Versus having a portfolio in a PDF format, I tend to see these be more websites and I tend to see these be more links. Now, I know I said before, clicking links can sometimes be something that I'm not going to do. If the pitch says, here's a link to my UGC portfolio, you're also able to track and see who clicks those links. And again, I have creators who swear by sending links, not PDFs. So don't let that stop you. And again, I have seen so many UGC creators thrive and be successful, even having their portfolio UGC link in their email signature. They have it in everything. So this is something that I see more done in a link format. The reason media kits tend to be more PDFs is because it kind of gives that resume feel, versus why we see a lot of portfolios be links is because it feels more like of a website of a business. So they're both really strong. It's just how you want to kind of come across. If I had to pick, I would go PDF for the media kits and I would go links for the portfolio section. Now, customization versus one size fits all. In our course, our Pitching Brands Master Course, you guys, a lot of you already have it. You can go into the media kit section and see all different types of media kits. One of the things that we talk about a lot in that program is customization. Like I have this yoga creator that comes to mind. We have a yoga media kit, but we also have a travel creator kit, and we also do skincare because she does a lot of wellness. So her yoga media kit is really identical to the travel one. It's just the pictures are swapped out, are different. Why? When you're pitching as a resume and you're pitching a yoga brand, they don't care about your photos in Marrakesh unless you're doing yoga in Marrakesh, right? They want to see product, they want to see up close, they want to see you doing yoga. Versus if you're pitching the Four Seasons, they don't want to see you in a yoga studio. So that is where I see a lot of customization. We're creating media kits per industry, and we're using that very strategically in our pitch efforts. We're being really intentional with our pitching. Now, if you are someone that needs support on this side, y'all, book a discovery call. They're free, complimentary. See how I can get in and support you in the pitching side of your business. I've included a link below so we can support you on the pitching side. Now, UGC portfolios, on the other hand, we don't see a lot of customization here. What we do see are blocks. So we'll see a portfolio that has travel, fashion, lifestyle. The entire website will have different blocks and section that shows different content. But for the most part, it's you're not gonna have multiple websites, right? You have one website for your business and you show all the different types of things you can do. We see that tend to happen a lot in the UGC portfolio land. Now, who's using what? Oftentimes, influencers, people who are pitching influence, people who are pitching their audience, they have a media kit and a portfolio. So we here at Sidewalker Daily, we have helped our creators see that they need both. If you don't have influence, if you don't have followers, if you're just pitching content, you just need the UGC portfolio. You just need that be built for you. You don't need both assets. I stress both of these tools, whether you're pitching a media kit or a portfolio, need to be visually branded and strategic. You have 5 to 10 seconds to really impress a brand when they receive these materials. Branding matters. Font selection matters. Colors matter. I can't tell you the amount of media kits I've seen that have blurred content or the margins are a disaster. Brands can feel your unprofessionalism when your documents and your pitching tools feel unprofessional. It will hurt you from landing the job. Visuals are a big part of the pie, you guys. You want a brand to get your media kit and have this literally wow, this creator is phenomenal. Not because of your numbers, but because of how you present, about how professional your documents are. Now, I get that not every single person watching here is a Canva wizard or a tech wizard, and you rather just have someone help you with this side. Sidewalker actually has an entire design studio in our company where we create professional pitching tools, from company decks to media kits that creators are using to land 10,000 plus brand deals. okay? So all of our materials that we create are custom. If you're interested in learning more about our design services, if you need help in this section, if you're ready to actively pitch, go ahead and click the design inquiry form below so that you can learn a little bit more about our design processes and see if we're a good fit for you. I'm very transparent. I do not work with anyone on my pitching accelerators, on my one-on-ones that does not have a media kit that is up to standard, because I always say without that tool, it doesn't mean I have to create it or a company has to create it. But if that media kit is sloppy and doesn't look good, I personally will not take on a pitching client because I'm like, we are not going to have success. That is how important. I would turn down a $10,000 coaching client if her media kit is not strong, because I know there's literally nothing I can do to help her. Now, that is why the media kit is so, so important. So go ahead and check out if you need support on the branding side, on the design side. I'll include that link below. Now, one thing people ask me, like, Nina, how do I use these tools? When do I use these tools? Both the UGC portfolio and the media kit should be included in your outbound pitch to a brand. So when you are pitching and you're introducing yourself and you are, reaching out to a brand for the first time, you want your media kit to be in that email. You do not want to wait for email 2 because there may not be an email 2. The whole point of the media kit is to get you to have email 2, right? So it's kind of like the resume in the job world. Like, what does a resume get you? An interview. That's what I want the creators in my community to get. Interviews, opportunities to get a brand on the call, understand the brand's goals, put together a proper proposal with package A and B. That's how creators are making $10,000 months, because they are not doing little one-offs. They are sending out beautiful media kits. They are getting brands on a call. They are putting together custom proposals with packages included. So this is the process when you're trying to be a professional creator that you're trying to look for. Same thing for my UGC people. You want to include your gorgeous portfolio in that first email because they're going to go ahead and click and see right away, I like her style or his style. He shoots really good content. Let's learn a little bit more about how we can work with them. So these are assets that are used in that first initial outreach. Now, I do not recommend keeping your media kit public, but I am okay with having your UGC portfolio public. Why? The portfolio, like I said, is more of a website. There's no private information in there. It is just, simply maybe testimonials, logos, and a lot of content. Your media kit, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more of the mindset that I don't want that public. Like, if a brand wants to see my media kit, I want them to reach out to me and request it. And then that way I can follow up with them, sell them better, get them on a call. If you just have it public, you don't know who's looking at your stuff. So it's almost better to know so that you as a business person can follow up and make sure you close the deal. So I would not have your media kit public on your website. I would have it password or request my media kit, email me here. And then that way you can start a conversation with the client. One thing that I think portfolio needs that, maybe a media kit doesn't, because media kits are a little bit more custom. Portfolios need to show a variety of different styles. If you have UGC content that's talking head, testimonial, before and after, interesting transitions, get readies with me, day in the life of, whatever, different formats. This is, again, you're a content creator, you're selling different formats. So having different styles of content on your portfolio is clutch to getting the brand deal, okay? Whereas a media kit, you may not necessarily need all the styles. You're showing best performing content, or you're showing viral content, or maybe you're showing different styles, but again, it doesn't have to be pages of pages of pages of content. I have seen creators in their media kit link their portfolios saying, hey, if you want to see more, click here. And then it takes them to their portfolio. So we're seeing a lot of that happen as well. But that is a key difference that I'm seeing in terms of the type of content that lives in the portfolio world. Both your media kit, y'all, and your UGC portfolio are revenue generating assets. They are part of the sales process. And believe it or not, there's so many more assets and tools that creators are using to pitch. Mood boards, case studies, proposal decks, right? You need these assets to sell. It's just part of the world that we're in right now, because you guys are running a full-on business, and the better your assets are, the more money you're going to make. So if you need support on your media kit or your pitching, go ahead and book a call, like I said, complimentary with our team. I'll include that link below and see how we can support you in this side of your biz. I hope this answered your questions regarding media kits and portfolios, and I'll see you guys in the next video.